How you doing? Yeah, welcome to my studio. I think what I'm gonna do is sit right here and smoke my pipe. I'm gonna talk to you fine folks out there. I'm gonna listen to some Jason Aldean. So YouTube gonna take all my money on this one. Sometimes that's just the way it's got to be. Sitting here debating on which camera to use. Got an FX3. Badass camera right there. They filmed a movie with this thing called The Creator. It's a beautiful camera, but it needs a dedicated operator. This old Sony camcorder that I'm filming on right now, it's over 10-year, 12-year technology, whatever. It's an absolute champion. Built-in ND filters. If I had to pick one camera to go to work with, if a UFO appeared out there in the sky right now, I would grab that camera that I'm filming on right now. If I had to go to the Ukraine, film on the front lines, I would grab that camera, not this. This is more of a studio camera. It's like a complicated woman. If you finesse her right, she looks beautiful. I enjoy my wireless mics because I don't have to stand there in front of the camera. I can walk over here, I can turn away from you. Get them 26-inch pythons. So welcome to my hangout video. What am I going to talk about? I have no idea until I sit down over there and spark up my pipe. So thanks for joining me. Let me go put my studio camera up. I'll be right back. Let it be. Words of wisdom, let it be. Yeah, folks, it's a hot one. The rain finally stopped here in the good old Philippines. The PI. Use that thing on the end of my grill. Whoa! Almost a tragedy. Rocking some new pipe tobacco. Show y'all what I'm working with there. It's called Cherry Choice. Can you see that? Cherry Choice. It looks like a picture of some dude's throat or rib cage or teeth, hair, and eyeballs. I don't know if I can know. Just let you know, hey, smoking causes cancer. Well, I'm not gonna disagree with that. It sure does. Taking a big old drag off of a cigarette that has 300 and something chemicals put in it, how can you not get cancer from it? Dump truck rolling by. Live right here by, well, I don't want to say major road, but there's traffic on the road. Especially because they're building brand new houses back there, so I get construction traffic. A little bit noisy, but hey, it is what it is. Oh yes, I'm gonna sit down right here. Got my hat ready in case I get too hot. And I'm gonna sit here and just talk to you fine folks. I hope the angle on the dangle is okay. If it's not, if the angle on the dangle is not okay, I'm gonna fire my videographer. If the audio is not 100% crystal clear, I'm gonna fire the sound guy. All right, before I fire up that pipe, have a Coke and a smile. Man, nothing like a nice cold Coke. I read where DJT has pressured Coke into bringing back Coke with sugar in it. You know, in America, I guess y'all call it Mexican Coke. Think it tastes different? Well, because it's got real cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup. I forget which year they swapped over. Was it the 80s, the 70s, whenever they swapped over? Because there was a shortage of cane sugar. And there just wasn't enough sugar to meet the demand, so they swapped over to high fructose corn syrup. Oh yeah, that's absolutely Delicious. So that's why the Cokes taste different. What's crazy is, okay, now look, I've been living outside the US for a long time. When I get a hold of a Coke that's flavored with high fructose corn syrup, it takes me back to America. If that makes any sense, right? It's just like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not the Coke I'm used to. That's America. That's a Mexican restaurant, you know? That's drive-through Coke right there. So figure that out. You know, RFK is trying to figure out the cause of autism. And folks, up front, if you're just now joining me on your first video you've ever watched, my son has autism. He's 6 years old. They recently came out and said it was linked to Tylenol use in early pregnancy. And I'm not saying that that's not a factor, but I'm not agreeing that that's the smoking gun cause. You know, I think pregnant women shouldn't take anything unless absolutely necessary. But I think that we need to look at other things that occurred right around the 80s. And I'll just throw a couple out there. People went from drinking Coke with sugar to high fructose corn syrup. Go investigate that link. Number 2, men, we started wearing plastic underwear. Polyester means plastic. Synthetics, dry fit, all these fucking terms to convince you that you're not wearing plastic made out of petroleum. All right? So, right about the time the shift is when polyester and spandex, all this synthetic clothing, we started wearing it. And some kuya figured out, did a study that polyester underwear can cause you to go impotent. I'll do a whole video on that, but no bullshit. If you're thinking about having kids, you need to be wearing 100% cotton or hemp, wool, anything natural, but not synthetics. It just fries your balls and can actually cause you to be impotent, but it's reversible. So it's not too late. If you're having a problem getting your old lady pregnant, it's not working out, what you want to immediately do is purge your underwear drawer of anything synthetic. Wear nothing but cotton. Yeah, the best thing is, you know, boxers, something loose. But if you're not into that, at least swap to cotton. Anyhow, so maybe that's another factor they need to look at. How the synthetic fibers zap the sperm cells. Anyhow, how did I get off on that? I'm trying to light up a pipe here. Oh, so I started out talking about Coke. How Trump pressured them into swapping over to Coke. I guess there's going to be a limited supply. The U.S. can't get enough sugar, I guess. I don't know. I've learned a lot about sugar and sugar, how to grow sugar, how to plant sugar, how to harvest sugar. I think y'all have learned a lot about sugar if you've been watching my shows down there in the village. Why? Because this old lady's from a small village right in the middle of a sugarcane field. So she's grown up in the middle of sugarcane. Now it's starting to be farmed out, have different crops and stuff growing, but it used to be nothing but sugarcane. So you learn a lot about where the sugar on your table comes from by living over here, living out in the province. Places like this, you know, labor intensive, sort of like rice. It's the same way with rice. In, you know, Thailand, when I was married to my Thai old lady, I was up there in the fields, you know, just testing out my farming skills, learning how to deal with the rice. It's so much labor. I mean, any farming activity is a whole lot of labor. But in America, I'd never farmed any rice. I never dealt with sugar cane. And compared to going down to the truck patch and, you know, hoeing a couple rows and, yeah, standing out in the sun all day, it's grueling. But if I had to compare my experience growing up with my grandfather versus coming over here and messing with rice and sugar cane, my gosh. Send me back to the truck patch. I'll deal with cantaloupes, watermelon, corn, beans, peas, tomatoes. I'd much rather deal with that crop than to have to work in the rice field or the sugar cane, but that's just me. Get a little tune out of that trombone. It's got a very faint taste of cherry. It's not overwhelming. It's not very rich. It's not a very rich aroma. I'm assuming the stuff's made here. All right, so let's talk about what I miss about the good old US of A. Maybe that's the title of this video. You just sat through a 30-minute intro to say, what do I miss about the United States of America after being away full-time since, what, 2012, but I lived a couple more years. I don't know, fucking add that up, you know? It's hard to say. Well, when I was still drinking, one of the big things I missed was just access to the biggest selection of beer out of anywhere you go, right? Just go to Walmart. Matter of fact, I was at Walmart, did some filming on the beer aisle when I was up in Montana right before I left last Christmas. And I just walked up and down that aisle and you're just in awe at the selection. I mean, everything from the whole gamut, right? The craft beer, you've got wheat beer, you've got seasonal beer, you've got light beer, you've got everything. That huge selection of beer where I'll just contrast my experience, right? Okay, living here in Angeles City, I got access to a pretty huge selection of beer, but not like the Walmart aisle. It's not like I go down a Walmart aisle anywhere here. You can get most everything that you want, but I can't get Miller Lite unless something's changed. And if I were to walk into a store right now and see a cold case of Miller Lite, I'd probably have to go back to drinking immediately. I'd have to grab it. Bud Light doesn't tempt me. Not because of the marketing fiasco. I had already given up on Bud Light when my buddy brought me several cans in his suitcase. Shout out to you, man. Thank you very much for thinking about me. What a crazy story. A gentleman shows up over there in Barretto right when the lockdown is going down, and they're staying at Central Park Reef. And this shit is just starting to tighten up. Obviously, we didn't know that it was about to be a 3-year prison term. But they're scrambling around. Nobody knows what's going on. I get over there and meet him, and they didn't want to let me in the hotel. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? People were already being crazy. So finally I get up there, gave me the beers, got to see him and say, hey man, they're taking us over to the Central Park in Angeles City. I don't know where we're going from there. Because his lady was from the province somewhere. And so he couldn't leave out and leave his lady up here in Angeles City on vacation. He had to get her home somehow. She didn't have no people up here. It was a crazy story, as they all were. So anyhow, they were packing, about to get transferred. So I go home I go home over there with my beers. And again, man, thank you very much. I'm not being unthankful. All I'm saying is that when I popped the top on that beer, it was not the exact match taste of the last Bud Light I had drank, which had been many years ago. Many, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, somewhere in there. It was totally different. And I was like, they done changed, cheap bastards. They done cut the hops. They done cut this. It was just so watered down. It was, I don't want to say it wasn't recognizable, but it wasn't the same. And I realized these breweries change their recipes, what have you, and they're trying to cut corners, maximize profits and all that. But Bud Light, that was 2020, when I drank that thing, had changed my recipe so much that I dumped them right there. They lost me the customer right there because they changed it so much that it just wasn't the same Bud Light. It had nothing to do with the lady boy in the fucking bathtub. Nothing to do with that. I'd already got rid of them. But shortly after that, I went back to the States, cracked the top on a Miller Lite, and the Miller Lite was still exact match taste from years and years ago of drinking Miller Lite. It seemed like it was the same quality, same ingredients. So I said, okay, well, what's my beer? It used to be Bud Light. It's got to be Miller Lite. So if I could get a case of Miller Lite, I'll put the beer back in food, beer, and visas. All right, so that's one of the things that I missed. The selection of beer, the price. Come on, folks, beer in America is cheap. You're getting good quality beer for cheap. So I missed that. Like being down in her hometown, what was the only beer I could get unless I ordered? Heineken. And it's either brewed locally or wherever. It's not the same, you know. So there you go. Number one, I missed the selection of beer. Number two, you missed the selection of cigars and access to cheap, fresh cigars and tobacco products. Damn. Sounding like nothing but a junkie here. Beer and cigarettes. Well, beer, cigars. I don't spend money on expensive cigars. The most expensive cigars I've ever smoked, you fine folks out there gave to me. I just don't know about them. I'm a Swisher Sweet type guy, a Black and Mild type guy. You can find them over here, but they're not as fresh. And that's why it just turned me off from buying them. I guess they sit on a boat for 30 days, 60 days, sit out in the heat, whatever, and then they're not turned over a lot. Now a lot of people are buying them, so they're not very fresh. Whereas you get one at the Quick Trip, peel that label off of that Swisher Sweet, you just smell that fresh tobacco. My goodness. Okay, so what are we up to? Number 3. Now, certain places you can get it. Not really exact, but some pretty close match spots. There's a spot in Pattaya, and I think one more opened up. But exact match, Americanized, takeout Chinese food. There you go right there. I'm talking General Tso's chicken, hot and sour soup, crab rangoon. Give me a couple greasy egg rolls, some of that red sauce. You know what I'm talking about. Broccoli beef, pork fried rice. You might be thinking, fool, you've been living in Asia. Why are you crying over Chinese food? Because the Americanized Chinese food that you can get over there for takeout, it's not the same. That's the Americanized version. And here's a news flash for you. If you go eat real Chinese food, 99% of you aren't going to enjoy it. Okay? It's not General General Cho's or General Chow's, however you want to pronounce it. It's not the same. So yes, I have access to all that here in Thailand. Well, Thailand especially. Not really here. There's a couple places. But I miss that. Okay? Now, I would add Mexican food to the list, but there are plenty of Mexican food. I say plenty. There's several Mexican restaurants. Okay, here in Angeles City, there's several in Pattaya, there's several around Bangkok. You can walk into that Mexican restaurant and get exact match taste Mexican food, dip, chips. Now some of them struggle on the white cheese sauce. That's the one thing missing, the white cheese sauce. Everything else is the same as walking into a Mexican restaurant in the United States. So I can't put that on the list. I might put white cheese sauce with the side of jalapenos because I can't get that exact match taste. Let's put it on the list. Selection of beer, selection of cigars, Americanized Chinese food, the white cheese sauce at the Mexican restaurant. Okay, there's 4. Maybe I'll do top 5. What's number 5? I'll throw one out there that I've been missing since I left. Concerts. That used to be my thing, my game. Going to concerts, live music. I'm a fiend for live music. I don't care about your DJ and dudes scratching fucking records like this. Come on, dude, you hit play on a playlist and you're up there. I don't know why anybody's ever been impressed by a fucking DJ. But look at me, I can hit the play button better than this guy. Anyhow, if you're a DJ, whatever, man, and you make your money, whatever, that don't impress me. It's no different than going to a club where they're playing a playlist. Live music. So I used to go to concerts every Friday night, every Saturday night. I mean, didn't matter where I had to drive, that was my thing. So that aspect of my life of looking forward to a concert on the weekend, that's went down. And look, here in Angeles City, where's my favorite little club? Midnight Rodeo. Why? Because they got a live band. That's what I like. There's also a place called the Live House. I haven't been in there in years. I guess it's still there. Another good place to go, but Midnight Rodeo. Why? Because it's got live music. So the concerts, occasionally they'll have people come to town, but it's not like in America. If you live, I'm living in Atlanta, there's always something going down. If there wasn't, we're a quick drive to Nashville or several other places, to Birmingham. My gosh. So there you go, number 5. I miss going to concerts, specifically country music concerts, but hey, I'm a Kid Rock fan. Seen him many times in different places. So it put the Wabash on going to concerts. I go, in Thailand, Pattaya, there's plenty of wonderful bands over there. Thai bands, Filipino bands. If you want live music, you can go listen to live music every night. And that's pretty much what saved me. Because I'm rocking it out in the club, listening to Creedence every night. But it's still not the same as getting dressed up, pre-gaming, going with your buddies and some ladies to a concert, having a great night. There you go. There's my top 5 list of things I miss about living in the good old US of A. Okay, you want me to continue? Maybe I can get up to 10. Okay, number 6, Cracker Barrel. Yeah, I miss the Cracker Barrel. This recent marketing fiasco, hey, whatever. I miss the Cracker Barrel of back in the day, where you walked in there, if it was cold, they had that fire going, you could warm up by the fire, sit down. you know, biscuits and gravy, Uncle Herschel's favorite. You know what I'm talking about. I miss the Cracker Barrel. As at number 6, number 7, I miss the Waffle House. Okay? Now, I can get both of those things at certain restaurants over here. So that's more of the branding, because what is a brand? Let's talk about what's branding. What is a brand? Some people think a brand is a logo. You know, the Nike swoosh, that's their brand. No, it's not. That's an element of the brand, but a brand is a feeling that you get. It's the feeling you get. When you pull into that Cracker Barrel, you get that feeling, that experience, the food, just the whole experience, right? Walking through that country store, it's a feeling. They just found out real quick that if you fuck with certain elements of the brand that affects the feeling, you're gonna lose your customer base. So that's another one to be studied. The Bud Light fiasco and the Cracker Barrel fiasco. Be studied at marketing schools, marketing courses. How overpaid CEOs can fuck up a perfectly good company, perfectly good product, and a perfectly good brand. All right, so what am I up to? I already forgot. 6, 7, Cracker Barrel, Waffle House. Okay. I started to say Walmart, but I mean, come on, what is Walmart? I can buy anything at Walmart pretty much. It's just more expensive here. There's no clearance deals. Well, okay, I guess you could put that on the list. You will miss deals such as clearance deals at Walmart or thrift shops that have quality stuff. I miss that, access to that. You go here around to any of these ukai shops, it's garbage that Goodwill couldn't even give away. Makes its way over here, it's dog shit. There's no deals, there's no bargains, there's no sales, there's no clearance items. So if you're like a huge bargain hunter, it's not gonna happen for you here. All right, I have one used clothing store over in Pattaya that they import stuff from the US, and I get a deal over there. And I don't want to tell people where it's at because I don't want every gringo running over there making a run on it and taking all the good shit. I go over there and go like this, and occasionally I find a brand new Columbia shirt with the tag still on it. Some expensive stuff, but that's the only place. Any other place around here, it's just dog shit nobody else wants. So if you're a bargain hunter, ain't no bargains here. I'm talking on decent quality stuff. If you want to go out here and buy cheap Chinese dog shit at the market, okay, you do that all day long, but it's just junk. It's the same old junk over and over. As a Montana, we were in that thrift shop. My buddy found that leather coat hanging on the rack. She just put it out, or she was bringing it out. I can't remember if she was bringing it out or just put it out. He snagged it. He had to cut off some homeless dude that was eyeballing it at the elbow and whatever. Grabbed that leather coat. I got that coat for like $3. Damn brand new Wilson's leather coat, $3. You're not gonna find deals like that here. So if you're gonna move over here, find all your deals, all your clearance items, and bring them with you. Shit like that. You know what I mean? Something expensive, because they just don't go on sale. What am I at? Number 8 on the list, number 9 on the tits on the list. So like thrifting, thrift shops. I missed the thrift shop. Gonna squeak out 2 more. Okay. Something that the U.S. has, national parks. You take it for granted. You take it for granted until you come to a place like this that's so crowded. Just the immense, wide open spaces of the United States. And national parks, just the beauty of the national parks. Being able to sit there by a stream, you know, up in Montana, crystal clear water, no fucking trash around, just surrounded by nature. You gotta go way up in the mountains here to find that. At least something that's pristine. Don't matter where you go, it's trash. So I miss those wide open spaces. Why do you think when I go to Thailand, I jump on my motorbike and I ride down in that area down by Silver Lake, down that way. I just get out there in the middle of nowhere, out in them, you know, near them fields and out on some country roads where I'm the only dude on the road and I'm just riding. Just reminds me of being on the backcountry road in Mississippi. Don't see nobody else, no other cars, no people. You know, occasionally you'll see a monitor lizard crossing the road, something like that, you know. I miss those wide open spaces, and that's why I like this spot right here. You know why? We're surrounded by, hey buddy, not really, well, sort of surrounded by empty lots. So my view out the front here is an empty lot. I'm looking at a mango tree, some banana trees. I don't know what that tree is, a bunch of grass. I fucking love this place. If I didn't have these motorbikes going by, I would be out in the country. But the noise, I guess, is what keeps things interesting. So there you go, there's my top 10 list. Did I make it to 10? That's pretty much what I can squeak out. And that's just off the top of my head. I didn't even think about several other things. Do I miss it enough to move back? Not to move back. Obviously, I want to take my crew at some point on a big long vacation, you know, just get over there, rent a van for a month or 2. Just rent a minivan and just take them to every state in America. You know, obviously we can do what we're doing. I'd love to do that. Just show them everything. Then maybe just end up driving to Alaska and then head on back this way from Alaska. Wouldn't that be a great road trip? Even if it took us 6 months. Just take 6 months. Road trip to America. Just get a minivan. Because the good thing about us folks, we got this big old house right now. We don't need this big ass house. This is just part of training, suburban lifestyle training. When reality, I mean, we're like Filipino families. We all gather in the same room. We're all right there together. We don't need all this. So for us to go live out of a van for 6 months is nothing. Ain't nothing. They love it. Maybe once a week hit a hotel room so everybody can freshen up, recharge their battery, something like that maybe. But no, folks, I like the weather. I like the weather of the tropics. Really thought I wanted to move to Montana till I was up there during the winter, and I just realized I'm too old. I'm too old, and an old injury just doesn't like the cold. If you have any injuries like broken bones or arthritis or anything to do with ailments like that, you got to move to hot weather, because the cold weather just kills you. It just kills you. When I first moved to Thailand, like when I left the States, and I was heavy at the time, but I could run. But when I ran, it'd take me 2-3 days to recover because of my leg injury. And then living over here, shit, I run 8 clicks right now. Get up tomorrow, run 8 more if I want to. It doesn't affect it. It just, the pain went away, the recovery, the limping around, all that shit went away when I moved over here. And it probably has something to do with the food too, getting preservatives and steroids, all that shit out of my food. But the weather's a big thing. So if I move back to America, let's be honest, I got 2 places I can move to. Miami, San Diego. That's probably the only 2 places I'd be able to make it. Maybe down there in South Texas. All right, folks. I don't think I made it to 10. I hope I didn't disappoint you. I'll say this too about the local pipe tobacco here. All right. Now look, I've had pipes before, but I'm not an expert on pipes. I don't know shit about pipes. Some of y'all comments were telling me how to pack the pipe. I read some stuff. I don't know shit about pipes. I know how to smoke a cigar. Okay, a Swisher Sweet at that. The pipe tobacco. So I was at the beach house before we left, and I brought back some pipe tobacco from the US. Good quality shit, right? When I say good quality, it's probably, what, $15 pack, $20 pack. But I'm out on the back watching the ocean, looking at the view, and I'm smoking that pipe. I hit like, I don't know, sat out there, hit like 2 or 3 pipes, pipe full of tobacco. Folks, I felt like I was stoned out of my gourd. I was so high. I say high, I was on such a nicotine high, I reckon I was freaking out. I mean, it took me hours to calm down. I mean, I was just like, what the hell was in that? Look, it was just pipe tobacco. I guess I just wasn't ready for it. It was just good quality, strong stuff. It messed me up. Then it got sick in my stomach. And hell, it was like a week or 2 before I went back to smoking that pipe. Put a hurting on me. I said, God damn, man, you can't sit out there for 4 hours and smoke that pipe for 4 hours straight and it'll fuck you up. At least it did me. But this stuff right here, it don't have the same effect. It don't have the same effect, and it's harder to stay lit too. But it's still good. Better than smoking a blade of grass over there. All right, folks, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Really, the purpose of this is just, I'm trying to set up my hangout area, my studio area. There's so many spaces here. I got a space over there, but it's linear. Got the dirty kitchen. It's just hot as hell in there. It's pretty cool right now on a shaded day, but most of the time, the early morning you can operate in there. But dirty kitchens that are covered are hot. I'm gonna tell you right now. So if you got a place with a dirty kitchen, it's got to be open air. Maybe just a roof, that's it. The enclosed hours, okay, it keeps out the cats and the critters and what have you for the most part. But what does it do? It's hot. So truth be told, if you can find a dirty kitchen with nothing but the roof, that's what you want. Okay, yeah, cats are gonna come in, whatever, the bugs, but at least you can operate back there because it's cool. That place is an oven in the middle of the day. Can't be in there. So let me know what you think of this setup. I was gonna move everything up to the roof. I moved the grill up there. It's a beautiful view of the mango tree, but what did I realize? Old Steven Spielberg. Number one, when it rains all the time, you can't film, you can't barbecue. Damn. Number two, the old lady's humping all that stuff up the stairs. Every time I need something, somebody's got to go downstairs. That wasn't practical. I said, I got to move back downstairs. So this is the most practical space because why? I got a roof, I got lighting, and she don't have to carry the stuff up the stairs. So let me know what you think of this little studio here, this little studio space. Put another chair over here. And see, just like that, I started out with sunshine. Now it looks like it's gonna rain. You know, the kids play right back over there. There's a kids play area. They play right here on this concrete and in that flower bed right there. So I just said, you know what? This is the best place for old single dad to call my outdoor studio, where I can watch the kids, talk to you fine folks, and barbecue. And then probably right next to the barbecue grill is where I'm gonna put the new piece of kitchen weaponry. It's being manufactured right now. They didn't have any on stock, so they had to say, hey man, it'd be 2 or 3 weeks lead time. We gotta build it. I said, man, if you build it, they will come. Company I ordered this from on Lazada sent me 2 free cigars. I was so damn happy because ain't nothing free over here. You don't get nothing free. I got 2 free cigars in that package. I was like, what the heck? Man, I want to say thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me on the show. My water guys will be here any minute, so I got to deal with them, which means I got to move this camera. Thanks for being a loyal viewer here. Friend on my show. My little piece of digital real estate. Really enjoy this pipe. Courtesy of Uncle Joe from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. May you rest in peace, my good man. I got 2 pipes from his collection. My friends in Mississippi. Shout out to you, Edith and Carrie. Thank you very much. They got his whole collection. I don't know how many's in this whole collection. But we were there. They gave me a couple, gave my son a couple, 2, 3. So we're carrying on Uncle Joe's legacy by smoking his pipes every day. Where before they were just on display on a shelf. Y'all hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, smash that like button. Helps out with them Google squirrels who are the gatekeepers. They decide whether or not I make a buck or not. So hit that button, leave a big old long comment. I certainly appreciate you. All right, folks, I'm out of here. See y'all on the next one. Peace out.